Olha lá, tomou uma esquerda agora. Tomou uma esquerda agora. Sentiu a Maju, ela não volta, hein?
Vai ficar.
Mas ela aguentou muito também, né?
Mas lembrando que ela pegou a última luta de última hora.
E fim de papo numa esquerda muito bem conectada.
De receber golpe, tá quadra.
Tá quadra, né, gente?
Se ela for pra cima, ela acaba.
Olha lá, tomou uma esquerda agora.
Acabou.
To separate the two, Kalkanov, 1 minute to find someone. Can she pull?
In just a few short minutes, everything changes. The crowd roars, the lights pulse, and then silence. That moment when a punch lands so clean, so devastating, that all movement stops. This is what these women train for. Not just victory, finality, brutality. These are the moments that define a career, that separate the contenders from the feared. The bell rings. She charges forward, 2 jabs to measure distance. The opponent leans in to slow. A right hook explodes across her temple, and down she goes. Limbs locked, eyes wide. The arena erupts. The referee waves it off. 17 seconds. 1 punch. 1 legacy rewritten. Another clip. A spinning back fist thrown out of instinct. It lands on the jaw like a hammer. The crowd doesn't scream, they gasp. Her opponent crashes into the canvas, face down, unconscious, before she hits the ground. Fido walks away with blood on her gloves and ice in her stare. No celebration, only dominance. Then it's a head kick. A thing of beauty, set up by a feint, disguised behind a shuffle step. When it lands, there's a crack like a whip. Her opponent's body folds, legs buckle, back arches, eyes roll. Her cornermen shout for help, but it's already over. In less than a minute, the war is won. Now a knee, delivered mid-scramble in the clinch. There's no warning, just impact. Her opponent's hands drop, body turns stiff, and down she goes. Another clean, cold knockout. The ref doesn't even start a count. He knows time moves differently in these moments. A 3-minute round becomes a 3-second highlight. Each knockout is a story told in violence. Sometimes it's a perfectly timed counterpunch. Sometimes a wild elbow thrown in desperation. Sometimes just sheer raw power detonated against a fragile moment of vulnerability. You see the intensity in their eyes before it happens. The focus, the calculation. One misstep from their opponent, and the strike comes down like lightning. And when it lands, it's over. Not maybe, not later. Instantly. These are more than knockouts, they're declarations. Every second of every clip here is a reminder that in women's MMA there is no mercy, no reset button. Only consequences. Only the cold, ruthless rhythm of 4-ounce gloves finding bone and ending the night. Every fighter in this reel earned their place the hard way, in sweat, in pain, and in unforgettable moments that will be played on repeat, slowed down frame by frame, analyzed, feared, and admired. This is not just violence. This is precision. This is war in motion. These are the minutes of women's most brutal knockouts. The next moment is quicker than a blink. A southpaw steps in, ducks under a lazy jab, and explodes with a left cross that lands flush on the chin. Her opponent's legs instantly betray her, folding inward as her body crumbles to the floor. There's no need for a second strike. The referee dives in before the body even finishes falling. Silence hangs in the air for a half second, then the crowd erupts. Replays show the impact in slow motion, mouthguard flying, sweat frozen midair, eyes rolling back before gravity takes over. It's not just a punch, it's a shutdown. Then comes the elbow. Mid-clinch, barely any room to breathe, and yet she finds the angle. Just a shift of the hip, a twist of the torso, and the sharp point of her elbow cracks against the side of the skull. Her opponent's knees give out instantly. Down she goes. No resistance, no reaction, just pure shutdown. The victor backs away as her opponent lays still, twitching.
Know about that stoppage. Her eyes were still forward. She was trying to mount some active defense by lumberjack sweeping and grabbing the legs. Usually I'm all on the side of the referee when it comes to stoppages, but she's still engaged in defense.
A Cid inteligentemente tá falando.
Entrou a mão da predadora, vai batendo, com força, com potência, uma máquina de bater, momento delicado pra Cine Rocha, momento muito bom pra Tatiane, vai batendo, com força, vai terminar, terminou! Predadora! Se tornar a grande campeã! Olha aí, ó como entrou a mão direita.
A Denise ali, a lutadora do UFC, falou pra ela, olha, você precisa de uma mão. Você só
Golazos por parte de Janet García.
Slightly, the cage echoing with shocked gasps. One shot, that's all it took, and it came from inches away. Now it's a flying knee. Thrown without hesitation, she jumps into it like she's leaping into battle, driving her kneecap into the chin with such force that her opponent lifts off the ground. Time seems to slow. The camera catches the instant her opponent's eyes glaze over midair. She lands in a heap, arms sprawled like she's been unplugged from reality. There's no follow-up. It's already done. The crowd goes from cheering to stunned silence in under a second. Even the commentary team can't find words, just awe. Another clip rolls. A young contender with something to prove squares off with a seasoned veteran. The fight has barely begun when the younger fighter lands a vicious body kick that echoes like a gunshot. Her opponent flinches, opens up just enough for a spinning back kick to the liver. She drops to her knees, then her side, unable to breathe, her face frozen in agony. It's not the bloodiest knockout, not even the loudest. But it might be the most painful, the kind of finish that doesn't just end a fight, it lingers for weeks, months. The reel continues. A fast-paced exchange in the center of the cage, hands flying. One fighter throws a wild hook, misses, the other slips and counters with a tight, brutal right uppercut that sends her opponent's head snapping back. Her body stiffens midair, legs straight out as she falls backward like a statue. Her corner is shouting. The ref waves it off. The winner doesn't scream. She stares at the damage, breathing heavy, and walks to her corner, changed forever. These aren't just knockouts. They're violent truths, split-second moments that separate legends from memories. Each one is a message carved into time with fists, knees, and bone. Minutes of destruction that will be replayed in highlight reels, etched into promo packages, and remembered by everyone who saw them live. And just like that, another fight ends before it even begins. The two women barely touch gloves when the striker, known only by her nickname Rogue, lunges forward and connects with a short-range hook that ricochets across the jaw. Her opponent stiffens on impact. No stagger, no struggle, just immediate collapse. She falls like a marionette with the strings cut, slamming to the canvas as the referee dives over her body. The crowd explodes, some in awe, others unsure if they just witnessed something too savage to celebrate. But for Rogue, it was perfect. One strike, one walk-off, one unforgettable moment. In a sport where brutality lives in silence, then there's the spinning heel kick. So fast it takes multiple replays to understand. A young Muay Thai convert, facing her toughest opponent to date, waits patiently. She baits a jab, leans just an inch outside the line of fire, and fires off the kick like a sniper. Her heel lands behind the ear with the crack of leather and bone. Her opponent is out before she hits the mat, body twisted mid-fall. The ref doesn't even count. The crowd screams, the camera shakes, and the fighter simply stands there, expressionless, breathing through her mouthguard, as if this level of violence was always expected. Back in a smaller venue, less lights, fewer debuting, atomweight circles her opponent. Bouncing lightly, tension in every joint, her opponent presses forward, confident, maybe overconfident. She overextends on a right cross. That's when the left hook lands. A perfect, looping, weight-shifted shot that catches her on the chin and erases the fight. Her body folds inward, eyes wide, jaw slack, gasps ripple through the venue. You can hear everything, the corner screaming, the sound of the collapse, even the breath leave her lungs. This wasn't just a knockout, it was a shattering of expectations. And there, it is again, another flying knee, but this one's different. She times it off a level change. Her opponent drops her weight, hunting for the takedown. And that's when the knee rises like a guillotine. It meets the bridge of the nose with raw impact. Blood erupts instantly, followed by unconsciousness. Her opponent doesn't even flinch, she's already gone. The fighter walks away slowly, dragging her glove across her forehead, eyes calm. as if she planned the entire moment down to the second. And maybe she did. Then comes the kind of finish that isn't just violent, it's humiliating. A head kick, caught on live television. The aggressor, dominating for 2 rounds, marches forward, hands down, taunting. She walks right into a high kick that folds her backward. Her head snaps,